live life, premier. I know someone gonna get there and be so wonderful. Dun, dun. It's all for real. I'm taking how it feels. So we got the numbers of my nation. It's not to see another nation. The other side of every situation. Meant to be so leave you there to leave the best of me. Give it all to me. Give it all to me. Just give it all to me. Welcome to another cup of Spill the Tea with ST. Hey, Spill the Tea with ST. Guys, today, before I introduce my very special guest, first of all, like, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Like, it's just, I just need the finger. Just press like, okay? Today with me, I have a very special guest, okay? Like, I don't need to tell you that she's pretty. You gonna see it, okay? She's my future lawyer. If she opened her mouth to speak, guys, her voice is so soothing. If she now sings, she's looking at me. If she now sings, it's music to the ears. She's a woman of God. Let me just let her introduce herself. Pretty lady, can you introduce yourself to us today?
I don't even know what to say after that intro, genuinely.
I mean, that's all you, so.
Thank you so much. So hi everyone. My name is Demilade. Mostly known by Demi, but Demilade also works. I guess that's it. I don't really have
Okay, well,
much to say. I'm a person. I'm a human being.
okay, we've been cleared that she's a human being. So one thing about me and anybody actually, we went to the same secondary school in Nigeria, where we are from. I know we might look like we're Canadians, but we're Nigerians by blood. But yeah, it's crazy how we met here, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel like it was such a random day. You walked and I was like,
literally.
and I was like, after like, because we met at church. So after the service, I was like, hey, I know you.
It was so weird, y'all.
Because the thing is, this is like, after school, like, just for context, in high school, I used to cut that hair. Really, though.
Child, I look like a boy.
Yeah, so, like, now that we've matured, our faces look a little different. Seeing you in person, I was like, this person is very fine. You were very fine in high school.
No, I was not. Don't even try to flatter me. I was not.
Let me put that out there. I was like, oh my gosh, this person is gorgeous, but looks very familiar. And let's just say, like, our high school days or secondary school days were not our glory days.
Let me tell you, Demlaya had always had a baby face. She was pretty in school, and she's pretty now. Not to lie to you. If you put me and Demlaya together like this when in school, you can tell which one is the boy, which one is the girl. I am definitely the boy.
I feel. Have you actually? Do you call a yearbook?
Do we have a yearbook?
We had a yearbook.
I wasn't in it.
I promise you were in it. I left mine in Nigeria. I didn't bring mine here, but like because my sister was in SS3, it was mostly the SS3 students that you see. But then for JS3 students, we had our pictures.
Really?
You know when like somebody, the pictures were so. But you know we had like that straight pinafore uniform. So when people were posed,
like the gown with the bow.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, I remember
that uniform was ugly. No offense,
yeah.
but
Yes.
when what I remember distinctly from those pictures is like when people want to take pictures because of how frumpy and straight the dress was, people now hold their dress at the side.
Oh yeah. Today's topic is female friendships / sisterhood. So we are going to be focusing more on, I believe both of us don't really have that sisterhood. And you know how there's a lot of girls that have like these big groups, they move in whatever, or the person that have so much real friendships. I don't really think we have as much. We're going to be talking about our experiences with females and just a whole lot of nonsense, you know? The obvious thing is like something I want to mention is the school that we went to. It's an all-girls school.
Yeah.
Right? So do you think that actually prepared us for like forming friendships like with females in like real life? Or do you think that even kind of made it worse?
I think for me personally, I think it depends on the group that you found when you were in the school, because a lot of people found like, long lasting sisterhoods, like,
But like for us that left in like
really.
3 years.
Yes, I don't think, I feel it made things worse for me. I
Excuse
became
me.
very weary of people. And I think it was not because it was an all girls school, but I attributed it to that. So, for instance, like my background, especially coming from Lagos, not understanding a lick of Yoruba, and the way I also spoke then was
Just
very.
grammar. It's like, oh, she knows all the English in the world.
But and the funny thing is, like, they say, oh, you're forming. Is that it's actually not that?
Yeah, no.
It's I'm even short of words, because even then, just being yourself, because a lot of people that came to the school grew up like
In Ibadan.
in
So it's like
Ibadan. So
core Yorubas.
core Yoruba, and the culture there is obviously very different. So when you come and say, "Oh no, that's not how I did. This is where I went to school. These were the things we did," and they're like, "Oh, you think
Yeah.
you're better than everybody else?" I'm like,
I am.
so yeah, I think just because of those preconceived notions, and because we're all surrounded by other like girls, my mind just attributed that, okay, female friendships. I had like a few friends who I were like core, but when I moved from that to like my other school, it was harder for me to actually even like form friendships.
Really?
The only people like was I became friends with are people that I felt like I could trust, and that trust like grew over time
Time,
and
yeah.
through interaction. However, just right out the bat, just being friendly, being open was never my thing. And I think you never mentioned the school.
Was it
I
a
was
mixed
about
school or
to.
was it another girls'
No,
school that
I
you went
went
to?
to a mixed school.
Oh, same.
So that painted like that even made the how girls and guys are, that just made things so different in my mind, that
Yes.
reconciling both
Yes.
of those together was so hard for me that it took me a couple years, and even when I left like that other school, to realize what girl guy friendships, or girl centered friendships, or male centered friendships look like. Yeah.
That's wild. You know what's crazy is like we actually have the same experience but different. So like we both went to the same school for those 3 years. The next 3 years I also went to mixed school. But to me that was like the best 3 years of my life in the mixed school. Like I
Really?
got on so well with the male species. um
Sorry, continue.
yeah, I felt like I don't like again like I don't remember those years in the girls' school. I feel like I just kind of like blew through it. But like even when I entered the school, because it's like you're never among like men. Like you're in school, you go home, whatnot. It's not that really. And then when we're in school, then all the other school boys they'll come for
Oh
like dance, but
yeah,
then
yeah.
everybody
And
just
all the
acting
girls are like,
like,
oh my, and
I'm like,
I remember my sister made this very corny joke. So my sister was in, she was 3 years older. She's 3 years older than me. So like she was in like the senior school, and she remember there was this particular guy who had a younger sister in like junior school that all the seniors were like, oh my gosh, for.
oh,
And then she came back and said, this boy has at least my stars, she's different now, I promise. But at that point she was like, these guys' heads are shaped like paint tin cans. And she doesn't say what she doesn't know what they say.
no.
So like they had a whole like, how like all the girls like, oh my gosh, guys are
Yeah,
coming to
yeah,
the school.
yeah, yeah.
Well, myself was part of the gang of like, guys are coming to the school. So those companies, like when they say hi, I'm like, that kind of guy. That was like where she was at.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that was like the best. I think actually because of that is how I ended up like forming better like male friendships. Because like
Really.
I think like obviously like when in the moment I'm not thinking, oh, this is why I'm doing it. But like as the years go by, when I think back at it, it's like when I was in the only girls' school, I don't even remember forming any friend. If you ask me, I don't like I probably had like, friends, but like did I have a close friend? Not really. Sorry if you're my close friend and I'm saying I don't have a close friend. Please, forgive me.
You just can't remember.
I just don't. In fact, I don't remember. I don't mean that our experience is, irrelevant. I just Sorry, it's gone away. And then the MILF school. So when I was in that school, I don't know how I had more. It's not like I was attractive again. I was coming with my head flat. I'm trying to grow my hair. I'd formed a lot of male friendship. Like I literally had more male friends than guys. But also that was where I had my first best friend and my first heartbreak. Before I
Oh,
go into my own, when did you form your actual first, like, you say, like, best friend?
best friend. I am going to think of this. So this is even outside of like school and
School,
all of
yeah, yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah.
So I and two other ladies I would say I'm pretty close to. Our parents know each other, so like from church and all of that. We're all born on the same week. So
You
we
guys were all
had
born on the
on
same
the same
week.
week. So like Tuesday,
That's
the
wild.
Thursday and the Sunday, or yeah, Tuesday, yeah, Thursday and Sunday. So what we did sometimes when we were growing up is that we would meet in someone's house and just celebrate our birthdays together and have like
Really?
sleepovers and stuff.
But wait till
Um,
your parents kind of, they're smart with that one. They save money. Put all three of them together.
yeah, and I think, to be honest, I think that made us, we're not as close now, obviously, just because of time and other things. But I used to call them like my best friends. I still regard them as my close friends, but I used to assume there had to be like an external tie that would make you guys know that you people are locked in. But I think I formed really solid friendship where like it didn't really matter like all the surrounding things of our families knowing each other, us being the same age group and all of that, born in the
It's
same
just,
week. I formed that when I was in SS1 with a really really beautiful lady.
okay.
Don't have permission to give her a shout out on here from her, so I wouldn't. We're not as close now, unfortunately, just due to like time, space, and all of that. But during the 3 years of school, we used to be locked in like this, and then I formed other like female friendships as a result of
But how did
that.
you guys, like, were like, oh, this is my G? Is it just because of, like, already having, like, sorry, forgive me if I'm wrong. This is the same person from your family, right? Like one of the three girls, or it's somebody else?
Oh no, so like the so there were two other girls, so three of us. But the friend I made in high school,
Oh, that's just totally different.
totally
Oh, sorry,
different.
my
Just
bad.
in high school, I met her. We both had the same drive when it came to like academics.
Okay.
We both like loved movies and music. We just had certain things that just made us vibe. We were of similar heights. I was like, even
That's the
at some
height.
points we had like similar builds. So I was like the darker version because she's really really light skinned because she has German roots. So I was like the dark skinned version of her and all of that. She was also, I won't say she was super popular, but like she was pretty well known because she had been
Oh,
in that school for a while, like from
oh, because
JS1,
you just got there.
and
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just
that's
got
true.
there. Yeah.
Oh, that's fair.
So
That's
what was that like for you?
a
Like,
beautiful story.
with I'm just curious. Like, how was it forming, like, or what brought you closer to like your first best friend, female best friend?
I'm not going to lie to you. I don't remember.
And that's fair. That's fair. I
I'm
think.
so sorry. I'm going to mention her name because
Mm,
the only reason I'm going to mention her name, I'm going to mention various reasons in this story. But I actually don't remember. I just think, like, we just vibe. Again, like, I really apologize. Like, guys, Prudence, if you're seeing this, I actually apologize. So I listened to your podcast, actually,
oh. Oh,
which I don't know why you stopped because your voice was so nice to listen to, by the
thank
way.
you.
And then I know what you're saying. You made your first friendship was in school, like when you
Mm.
went up to somebody and you're like, "Oh, I'm Nigerian." That was so hilarious to me. I'm just thinking, if someone just walks up to me and can be like, "Oh, I'm Nigerian. Nice to meet you." And I'm like, I'll just be like, okay.
That
But
was actually the reaction I got from
oh,
them. But
really?
like I was like I didn't have shame. I feel like any atom of shame in my body was not there because I'm in an unfamiliar environment. I was a minor. I like I've never been in this schooling system before. They had been here for a while. I was like, I'm going to leverage every opportunity I'm going to get. If you
That's
like,
fair.
look at me. There was at least somebody in that group that kept looking at me sideways. I'm like, I'm here because I know what I'm getting from, like,
That's
for me,
true.
community is so important. Building community is so important. Finding friends is so important. So I was like,
Preach.
every atom of shame I have is not here. So if you like, give me side eye, I'll keep coming back. And I ended up making like friends from that, just because of I walked up to them to.
But you see how like when you're in Nigeria, like proximity. I feel I don't know, maybe it's just Nigerian culture. I don't know if I feel like it's if you're in Nigeria, it is, here like it's very hard for you to have, um, especially when it comes for me, especially when it comes to females, it's very hard for you to have a lot of Nigerian girls that actually have a solid like sisterhood or solid like multiple friendship. But in Nigeria, I don't. Maybe it's just me again. Like I can be oblivious because I'm here. I feel like there's a lot of them that are just maybe. And when they said that your secondary school. Oh no, sorry, not your university. Actually, it's secondary school. I'm pretty sure your university is where you get your long life friends.
Yeah, they're like, oh yeah, when you're friends in university,
Yeah,
that they're your
friends for
friends for
life.
life.
But then when you cannot even, your people here in the university, they don't even want to talk to you. Like sometimes I feel
Yeah.
like if I went to Nigeria for school and traveled, I would have way more female friendships. Again, if educate me if I'm wrong, if you're in Nigeria, but I feel like it would be so much easier. Here everybody's just kind of running away from you or there's just so much people with ulterior motives here that it's I don't know.
It's so funny because I watched a video, a couple, like it was last week, I think, and this video was like every time a man wants to move to her, the first thing he asks her is, "Oh, what's your status in Canada?" And I'm like, how
Be
is
for
that?
real.
How does that concern you moving to me? I've wanted to be friends with me.
Wow.
I think another thing here is that we have this crowd mentality, and it's something that a lot of Nigerians have held and they just carry here because they're like, oh, don't come and in Nigeria, everyone is almost on like the same level, same wavelength. But here, there are so many other layers to it.
Yes, that's
As
true.
opposed to like a lot of people come from Nigeria. A lot of people who move here from Nigeria were pretty had we're privileged, I would say, right?
That's
And there's
true.
some people who do not have that much privilege, but like found a way to still make it here and find their way here. So it was like a great opportunity for them to leverage. But here, if you don't have the resources and all the trappings, regardless of the fact that both of you came here to like make it, there are like different sects to it, and
That's true.
they don't they just kind of look down on you. They don't necessarily think that you're worth it because you didn't. Some people, like, they moved here as like permanent residents, but like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah, yeah.
I'm on a study permit. They're like, oh.
Something else for me is like surface level friendships. I feel like I don't know. So you know how in the beginning you said you have different tiers for like different friendships. How like I don't know why. So have you ever had a surface level friendship and is there a reason why it was like that? And did you ever try to like get it past surface level at all?
I think I want to, just so I can answer your question a little better. What does surface level friendship mean to you?
So it's like, you know what? I'm gonna get into it right now. Okay. First of all, us. So before I go into that, I don't think ours is too surface level, but I would say this is actually leads me to another point I was going to mention. I would say for the both of us, on my side, I've tried to be close friends with Dimlade, but Dimlade being Dimlade and me being me is okay. So an example of if I get distracted of the surface level for me, I have different examples. But for both of us, for example, is ours. I won't say ours is surface level, but ours is very
There's so much potential for it to be more than what it is.
yes.
I think,
But
yeah.
so for me, I felt like when I met you and afterwards of like seeing you whatever in my head, automatically I'm like because like I pick my friends. I don't pick any other people. I mean, Cassie, she's not any other person. So in my head, automatically I was like, oh, I really love to be friends with her. But again, there's so much things in the middle of us. Like, we both live at opposite ends of the city. We don't go to the same school. We literally know different people. If we didn't go to that church, we never met. And then I feel like in both sides, we didn't really make
I
too
would say
much
I for
effort
sure didn't make as much effort to
efforts to
put
be.
in. Yeah.
But then also, so you can see, like, from my perspective, I am thinking, like, oh, I definitely want to be friends with her. But in my
Yeah.
head, I don't really know what your perspective was.
If I'm going to be honest, I was like, in my mind, you're my friend. I'm like, how do I describe it?
I'm
So
an acquaintance,
I always,
guys.
no, no. Being very honest, how it works in my head was, I also wasn't sure how you placed me as well, because remember when I met you, I also saw that you had your own group as well,
Yeah.
and I'm very much of not like a group, but you had people that you were
I did
also
have a
friends
group at the
with,
time, too, yeah.
and I didn't want to encroach on that space and all of that, especially because like a lot of the hangouts that you guys would end up doing with everyone, and I'm the kind of person, and I found that out recently, that if this person is my friend, if you just into your friends, I would like to be friends with them too, like, but if they're not warm and open the way you are, in my
Yeah, it's
mind
not
I'm
going
like,
to.
I'm
Yeah, that's
just,
true.
and even sometimes this has happened to me recently, where like, oh, I met this person somewhere, we got along great, and then you told me, oh, you have a friend, this person, I met this person separate, you get along great, but like when we all now gather to like be friends, I don't know how to be friends with you and friends with those others. I
Yeah.
can only like be attentive to one person, and then like I don't know how to
Because
do
you're not
that.
already in the dynamic of, like, you have to get to
Exact
know the people individually first to kind of
Exactly.
see how you
And those
mesh.
other people also have their own dynamic. So
Yeah.
knowing how to like navigate that is super hard for me. So for sometimes I'm like, I feel like this person might think my presence is awkward. So I don't want to reach out, I want to hang out, but in my mind I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, I'm a little shy. It's better. So like there's some times where I saw you and one of our other friends who went to secondary school with. I saw you guys. I'm like, oh, you guys are going to. I'm like, I'm coming. Because I'm
Yeah,
like,
I remember
okay,
that.
I can navigate. This is a hangout that I can be a part of, because
Yes.
I feel like I'm comfortable with both of you. But I find that in group settings, especially when I'm not so familiar with everybody, I tend to get like I tend to freeze up mentally, and I'm like, I don't want them to feel awkward. I don't want to feel awkward, so I just, But then, if you notice, I also mentioned that for me, another thing is the more I see somebody, the more like
Yeah,
we've
proximity.
not even that, the more we've had more intimate conversations, the more like my intimacy with that person grows, and
Yeah,
the
I
more
think
I want
that's normal. I don't think
to
we've ever really had
we've
talks
had
like that.
great conversation.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
every
yeah,
time we
yeah.
talk, it's always like a vibe. It's never dull, right? It's like
Per.
we get along pretty well. It's just that like finding time for us to like actually sit down and just be like, hey girl, let's actually
Yeah.
like have a girl to
Like, are
chat.
we actually trying to
Yeah.
be friends or what?
The one time I remember us having like a one-on-one deep chat was time we went to Tony Roma's, I
Oh,
think.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, we had
yeah. Oh,
like
yeah, 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 yeah,
she
yeah.
put me on to Bang Bang Shrimp that day.
I did what?
You put me on to Bang Bang Shrimp
I
that
did.
day.
I don't remember.
Before then I didn't like shrimp at all.
Oh, yeah. I can definitely
Yeah.
see myself first in shrimp. Yeah, like, how would you like? Who doesn't like seafood?
Um,
Like,
for me, still not all seafood is good seafood. Just saying, just saying.
you haven't. Oh my days. Oh, child.
Well, but back to your main question. Sorry
It's
about
okay.
surface level friendships. There have been some surface level friendships that I tried to push, but it backfired.
Mm.
Teh, teh. So I met someone, and I just had me and this person. My spirit just didn't agree with this person for some reasons. I'm not going to
Listen
just
to your gut,
name.
guys.
And then it turned, and I started doing things like to kind of foster and build that friendship. And what ended up just happening was that it, like, later on, so the person did something. I was like, I didn't expect this from you, especially with us. Obviously, we're not like close, but like imagine like you're constantly like we swipe up on each other's stories. Like every time it's like, hey girl, da, 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 da. Like we're like back and forth. You ask
Yeah,
me
yeah, yeah.
questions about this certain issue, and I hear that, okay, this is what happened. I'm just like, this comes out of left field for me. While we're not like close, I still just thought we're like on a certain level. Like,
Level, yeah, yeah.
and then the person was like, well, we're not friends like that. We're not friends. So I didn't think I
Damn.
owed you this. And for me, I like what the person did, like strong and all that, but all I kept thinking about it, I'm not till today, to be honest. I've forgiven the person. Obviously, when I say person, I'll still say hi and all of that. And but we can't. I'm not just. I didn't. It just felt a little shady to me. Do you get like,
Yeah.
oh, all these other niceties and everything was just like formality and all of
It was not
that. Like,
genuine. It was
it
not
was not
deep.
genuine. There was
We're just
zero
playing.
like loyalty there. Like the thing is that even if there was a way it could have been explained, that could have even been like okay, but that whole like we're not friends, so it just
Dare you?
it kind of just made me think, and that's where I know I mentioned earlier that tiered friendships now comes to mind because of that whole situation. And all I kept thinking was that this person, I saw this person didn't see me that way. And the funny thing was that the other person was the one that was more enthusiastic to start with.
Really?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go back to us and our friendship. For me, from my own point of view and my experience was more of I'd seen you always see each other, church, whatnot. We've gone out a couple of times. In my head, I tried to be close in my own way, but obviously, like maybe it didn't translate as much as I thought it did. And then I think some other things were also in the mix that you don't want to talk about because
I'm actually
you pushed
curious.
me away at some point, and then but also like even when you did, I understood because I understood because I'm like this is you. I think you misunderstood the situation.
I think I know the situation you're talking about, but I promise you that I didn't push away because of that. I think I know what you're talking about. I think this situation involves driving.
Yes.
I know
Yes.
exactly what you're talking about.
Yes.
And it wasn't, to be honest, it wasn't even more. It wasn't. I didn't push away because of that. It wasn't even you that was like that.
Yeah, it
That
was.
it was.
I literally didn't even do anything, but I felt like after I played it out, I looked at like I was like, I'm literally innocent.
No, so do you get my point? Like nothing against you. It was the other person who did not mention. I was like, do you get my point? So nothing like mentally for me, nothing
See,
against
to her,
you.
she said nothing, but to me, I was reading something. So you see how that translates.
How that plays out?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I'm like in my
yeah.
head, I'm already making assumptions. But even honestly, even at the end of the day, like I still literally had no animosity towards you, whatever. Because I'm like, first of all, none of this is my business. I did not do anything, you
Yeah, like
know.
as long as you know, like your also during that period, I was going well. There was a fallout after that,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So me generally with like all my friendships, I was very guarded. I was in a, I was. I was also experiencing friendship heartbreak, even for an unrelated situation, on someone that like I was like super close with and all of that. So for a lot of things, and even for a couple of my friends, throughout that year and the year after, I would say like from the middle of last year to this year, I'm trying to build back my friendships because
Really,
everybody, I was like, I don't want anybody in my space because that the level of disappointment and betrayal I felt like I had
in that period,
experienced,
yeah.
well, I was just like everybody shifts. Honestly, if that was the case where I was like seeing you like giving you like side eye, I promise we'll not be sitting on this couch. And not because I won't have like forgiven or anything, but I'm someone that I'm trying to learn how to not be like this. But I found that I'm pain averse, and certain things get to me a lot, especially when it comes to friendships.
First.
Yeah, and I've been in situations. Sorry, go ahead.
No, continue,
No, I'm
continue.
just saying I've been in situations where like I feel, and this is where I want to learn how to be a woman who supports women, a person who uplifts women. I've
Preach.
been some conversations I've entered, and I just see it's like people trying to pit people against each other. Yes, you did this, and
Too
I'm
much,
like,
guys.
it's so much drama, and it feeds into that whole stereotype of like women don't like women, and women just want to see each other fall, and women get jealous. I'm like, I see those things, and sometimes I feel those things because that's how society has sort of wired our brains to see other women as our competition when it comes to
Yeah.
certain spaces, certain things. But I'm also trying to work my way back from that mentality. Am I there yet?
It's a
No.
process. It's a process. Ain't
No,
nobody gonna
no,
judge you over here.
I'm not there yet, so I'm going to be honest. I'm still trying my best to grow.
Yeah, we're all
But
growing.
yeah, society has just, and I think it's because I'm your fellow woman. If I want to hurt you, I would know how to hurt you. Do you get
Yeah.
my point? There are certain things that
Cause
you could do to just demoralize and make someone feel bad and all of that. But yeah, we should learn to do better.
We should. And
Yeah.
it's I've literally lost friendship. Like there's this saying that people said that, oh, women forgive men easier than they forgive women. Like
Oh,
when men you have a relationship with a man, it's like, oh, like you
yeah.
take him back, but you never take your friend back. You won't give her grace at the same grace you give a man. But I feel like
For me, it's different though. I'm sorry. For me, it's very different.
really,
Because like there are some friends, some female friends who like, okay, things have, you know, are not the same as it was. When I say like, hey girl, what's good? Like my mind is just like I'm able to grow and move past it. But when it comes to male friendships, because I'm not going to lie, a lot of reasons why my male friendships have disappeared or whatever they call it,
yes, whatever the word is.
dissipated, vanished, whatever the case may be, is
Yeah.
because they tried like something romantic entered somewhere and casala busted somewhere. I should stop using that term, but something happened somewhere where like someone had emotions and it just didn't end well. And for me, when it comes to like romance, like I said, pain averse. I don't want affliction to rise a second time. And the funny thing is like proximity can allow affliction. Well, time actually.
But you give the woman the grace though.
For women, I give them grace. So like for women, like maybe what will happen is our friendship will be different. So if it depends
So you
on
still
like
uphold the friendship.
exactly. So it depends. So it depends on how I was how I felt I was hurt. If it's something very fundamental on how we see the world, for instance, I've decided not to be friends with certain people just because of how they talked about others, how they just, their overall vibe was just very.
It was not tea.
Yeah, and this is not even just like a woman thing. It's like there are
Person
some
thing.
guys that want to be friends with me, like actually just friends, not romantic. And I'm just like, I can't be your friend. No offense. I see what you, I see what you post
You
on
just say like that.
Instagram. Oh no, I don't say like that. I just
Okay.
find a way for us not to be friends, just because I see what you post on Instagram. You probably see what I post on Instagram. There's certain people that I know that are not friends with me because of how I am, just generally as a person. They don't just like my vibe, and that's fine. Like
Kudos to you.
exactly like let's not put ourselves in a situation where we're
We
like
have to pretend.
exactly we have to pretend that we like each other and we care about like Becca Bloom on Instagram.
Becca who?
Becca Bloom.
What does
Don't
she
worry,
do?
she's just a rich girl who talks on Instagram and
Is
shows off
it?
her rich stuff.
Is it? I don't want to say
I
it.
know, but like yes.
Oh yeah, I think I know
Yes,
her.
yes. I funny enough, I really like her content. But one of the things she said is like if someone cannot necessarily like a way some people try to drag you down if they cannot just do it to you directly, is they try to drag
Use
your
other people
reputation
to.
or use other people to
Yeah,
drag you
yeah,
down.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
And
true.
whether or not this person was doing it consciously, that was what was happening. And that's why I said like, oh, for friendships during that period, I was like, everybody shifts.
Yeah, that's
Because
fair.
I was so like my guards were up to like here with everybody because even some people
Makes
she had told
sense.
certain things, they didn't come and tell me, but I'd find out that this was
They
what was
knew, and
happening.
yeah.
And I was like, the funny thing is that everything that was said about me was explainable like this. But the thing is, when it's only your side of the story that's being told, you can let people believe whatever it
Yeah,
is they
people
want to
can make.
believe.
Then people start to make their own
And
assumptions
people
left,
start making
right.
assumptions, and it just really start questioning what do people even think of me when I talk to them, how I relate to it. So that thing really it did a number on me, and honestly, that whole thing just made me realize that you know what, I would fight with my friends. Like, no, I'll fight my friends. Like, arguments are bound to happen eventually
Yeah.
in relationships, friendships, whatever the case may be. But how you fight is more important than what you're fighting about. And if you disagree with me about something, if something is wrong, if you cannot sit down and have a conversation with me, and I can definitely be sometimes a little hard to talk to. I'm not saying that I'm the perfect person ever,
Yeah.
ever. But if your first tactic, and the funny thing is the problem or the issue was one thing, and then but it blew up into like, oh, there are a bunch of
Many
other
other
things.
things.
But
Yeah.
I'm like, if the issue was just solved at the roots, that'd have been the end of it. But you are now going to ruin how I look to other people
You can start bringing other things from
and other things
other
from other
times.
areas to
Yeah.
now like. And for me, I was like, I also felt like I would never do this to you. Like, for instance, like if my friend offends me, like I talk to her and we have an argument, after I'll go to my other friend like, oh my gosh, this happened, da, da, da.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
to the point where like you are choosing not to talk to me at all, you're choosing not to have a conversation with me at all, you're choosing to stonewall. But what you are then doing is painting an elaborate picture with somebody when you could just have, because some things were like, oh, you said you're going to do this, and I was like, oh no, I actually said that. I never said I was going to do that. You misunderstood me. This was what I said I was going to do. I actually did that. And they're like, oh, okay. And a lot of the other things that was the issue were so explainable, but I'm like, your resentment had grown so much to the point where you could not even come and talk to me. And I was
Wow.
like, my fear was, if we have another argument, this is the same way that you would come back and relate with me. And I was just like, yeah,
Guys, that's too bitter.
we can't be as close as I anymore, because you would know who to hurt.
But you see the difference between both of us. You said you're going to be friends back. See, like your point of view, I definitely relate to. Like in the future, you know what? If we've ever fallen out, whether you're female, male, in the future, if I'm in a position to help somebody, I'll always help. But in my head, I don't expect to help for them. I don't know. So just for me, I'm a type of person that hates. When I say I hate, I literally despise putting my body on anybody else. Like if I come to you with something, you have to be like the extremely last resort for me to be like, okay, I'm feeling this type of way. Like I am somebody that's tried to solve things myself. Obviously, there's other roots of things that led me to become that kind of person. But in my head, so it's like if I fall out with somebody, also depending on the degree of the fallout, especially when it comes to female, depending on the degrees of the fallout, I can either not talk to you again. But hey, if you're walking on the street, your handbag, I will help. I'm not just gonna look away. I'll pick it up for you.
I would say like my female friendships now I find very rewarding. Obviously, I'm not a good, I'm not a good texter or caller, so if I don't see someone often, it's actually hard for me to keep up and call and all of that. So Deborah, if you're watching this, I love you and I'm sorry. But I think I think also genuinely when it comes to friendships and like fellowship and women, is what I found even more rewarding, because like, on social media it's always nice to have a group of all women doing
Yeah,
the
you see
little
the
things
just going
together,
on trips,
and
you're like
yeah,
praying,
exactly, like having
something.
like picnics at the park, all of that.
Yeah.
That is all great aesthetically, but what I found that has worked
Aesthetically.
for me is that I'm like, not all my friends have to get along with each other. Because the thing is, if I vibe with you personally, I vibe with you. So I have like friends who, like, if they're going through something emotionally, like I will be
Yeah.
there and
Yeah.
I have friends that if you want to go and shout and like just go see a movie and just go do rambunctious stuff
Something
at like
random.
a park or something,
Yeah.
I'd go with them. If I have friends that I want to do Bible study with, I want to actually have deep conversations about my faith with, I have like the people that I call. If I have friends that I just want to gist and all of that, I have, it sounds like there are plenty. I promise you that. I'm listening like, oh my gosh, I have Becky, I have Jessica. No, I promise you,
Rachel.
some of those things are intersecting, by the way. And even for my male friendships, if I've had a long day and I'm just tired and I don't want to talk about my day, I just want to, I just want to go for a drive. I know the friend to call and all of that. Some of my friends are so low. My friendships are so low effort, but they are community for me. We are not a community together.
Yes,
So I
yes,
found
yes.
like it's more fulfilling and rewarding, because before this I was really like, I want everyone to get along. I'm like,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
have you ever invited like a couple of your different friends
For your birthday
together?
dinner.
And then you're like, this is like oil and water. Nobody's mixing and all of that. But like the thing is, you have personal relationships with everybody on that table.
Yeah.
You have deep, meaningful conversations with everyone on that table, and you hold everyone there with respect, and you know that you have these people's back and they have your back, and these people have contributed positively into your life, and if you could, you would do the same thing for them.
Right.
But they don't necessarily have to be like a group of all women that come. It's nice, I promise you, it's
It
nice.
is nice.
I got invited for something like that, and I was like, I was not close to any of them, but just being invited I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so shy. But aside, it's nice aesthetically, but what brings long term, because I think the importance of friendship, sorry, I'm going to fit tangent, I'm going to finish really, really soon.
That's
I promise.
okay.
There's a
That's
point.
okay. I just say it's a point.
But the importance of friendship and community is not only just for like, okay, what you want and satisfaction, but for even for your mental health as well.
Yes.
For your fulfillment,
Yes.
what it means to have a fulfilling and satisfying life. Even when you're like in a relationship, so you don't burden your partner with all the
Everything.
responsibility of
Yes.
being your entire
Yes.
community to you.
Yes.
That's why it's important to have like different friends who help you. So what your community is your community. They don't have to all be community or fellowship. It's nice when that happens. Promise, it's great, it works great, but
Basically, you do
sometimes
what works for you.
it's just like I vibe with you. Your hair is green and red, and like our aesthetics are so different, but like I vibe
Yeah.
with you. Obviously, when I'm going to see my Bible study friend, he ain't coming with me. No
Yeah.
offense.
Stop.
No offense, right? Like they're probably like you're cool people, but I just know you guys won't get along together.
Yeah. Yes.
So
Of
I won't try and
course.
force.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, and you have a great personality. And I know like how friendly you are to people as a whole. How much you try to no, you don't even
Were you talking
try
about
to,
me?
yeah.
Oh.
Like I've seen you
Oh.
interact with people, right? And you keep to yourself, but you carry yourself very well.
Oh, stop.
People see you and like they're like, okay, I admire that. I
Oh,
remember when I talk
stop.
about you to other people, I'm like, oh my gosh, if there's anyone I would describe as an independent woman, you'd be definitely on that
Oh, I'm
list. So I was like,
flattered.
so that's my
She's
thing.
making me
Like,
blush, guys.
you're worth being friends with, but they don't know how to they don't have to know that each other exists.
It's
End of
okay.
story. Like it's like their community for you, and that's all that
Yes.
matters.
Yes. I've
Yeah.
just, you know what? Even if you don't, just like you said some people have. Even me, I've always had the idea of I want a sisterhood. I want you. You don't have to have. Not like having a sisterhood is bad, just like you said. You don't have to have having your own community of like multiple sisters or even brothers. What works for you, but
Yeah, because so there's some of my brothers that cannot introduce to each other. Because I'm like, you start doubting.
like, how are you friends with this person?
Yeah, have you been friends with somebody you're like, I can't take care of my parents.
For real,
I
for
can't take it.
real.
And they're not bad people. I
Yeah.
promise they're like good, responsible people. But you just know that the way they are, you're like,
Like, it was very simple. Like, I had a friend where, oh, I don't want to say I have a friend, but I still have a. I'm like, I literally can never live with you. You're too loud, bro.
yeah, like the certain friends, like you know that okay for certain spaces, certain like you
Yeah.
love them truly and
Yeah, no,
deeply.
hey,
Yeah, it's just like if someone invites me for a rave, I'm like,
a rave.
like,
What am I gonna do there?
exactly. Like I'm not a loud music. Like I love loud music when it's like soft but loud. But like basically, that my point is exactly that. Like as long as you vibe and you people have the similar values, I think that's all that matters. But yeah, I'm looking to grow my. I'm going to. Anyways, we'll talk off camera. Oh my
Oh
goodness.
well, this has been a lovely conversation.
A lovely chat.
I wish you could chat more like this, but
I'm sorry.
you know.
This is a public apology to ST. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
ST will take about that apology.
I'm so sorry. I love you. Just know I love you. Genuinely, I love you and I respect you. a lot.
Side eye.
I'm me and responding to texts and calls. God will help me.
Me, I will take your call. Don't. Me, if you call, if it's, I know my problem is text but calls, but again, everything is just understanding, because again,
Yeah.
I have never in any time had any ill like thoughts towards you. Like I'm just everybody. Maybe just me, and I have grown up. Everybody has their reason for doing something. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm not saying you should be understanding towards everybody, but when you can see that somebody is a genuinely good person, like even internally, it's just be comes
Yeah,
to you to
even
give them
even when
grace.
something, yeah, you just automatically give them grace. Even when you're like, I don't know about this, but you
Yeah.
just like,
There's
yeah.
always an explanation for something. At the end of the day, when you find out that explanation, if it doesn't work for you, then okay. And if it works for you, then okay.
Great, yeah.
But guys, this has been a lovely chat. I would love to continue, but we've talked and talk. But you guys know I'll always bring a tea for you. So you gotta stay tuned for the next episode. And in order for you to know when the next episode drops, what do you have to do?
Subscribe.
She said it.
Subscribe, y'all.
Say it louder for people in the back.
Subscribe, y'all.
Okay, guys, like, subscribe, comment, follow me on YouTube. TikTok, Instagram, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, everywhere you listen to your.
Everywhere you get podcasts.
Yeah. I'm gonna be there. I wanna be speaking all your ears. Yeah. But anyways, I will see you guys on my next episode. Oh, also something I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Something I forgot to mention was the topic about female friendships. Initially, I was going to do 2 episodes where I have, someone that has a sisterhood and how it works for them and the way that we don't. But I've actually had people that have a lot of experiences on both sides. So I might actually do about 4 episodes on that. So even if we've not been able to relate to us here, you can relate to the next one. Okay? So we're gonna see you all in the next episode. Bye.